Hello world of the internet, Simon Miller here, and I hope you're doing great on this Monday. And as you know, on Monday we always do a vlog, although actually we're doing loads of vlogs these days. But that's quite fun, right? Click that, make sure everything's recording. It is. But I enjoy doing them. Hopefully you enjoy doing them too. We're still doing other content on the channel. Let me know. That's what the comments box is all about. You let me know what you think about the shindig that's going down. Quite an interesting one today. I wanted to talk about the fallout from the Tyson Fury Deontay Wilder fight. We did a predictions video on Saturday. And I want to tie into a few things that we talk about on these vlogs. So if you did watch it, you know, it ended in a draw. Some people saying a contentious or a controversial draw, depending on which line you take. I think Tyson Fury, you know, if you look at it from a boxing contest, won the fight. But I'd also accept the argument that if you see someone get knocked down twice, that you can potentially call that a draw. It depends how you see boxing. I do think the judges' scorecards were ridiculous because they were just so all over the place. But I'm not a boxing judge. You'll be surprised to hear I put my hands up and plead the fifth and say, look, they do whatever they want to do. But yeah, if someone said to me, who do you think won the fight from a boxing point of view, I would say Tyson Fury. Again, though, you know, Deontay Wilder did knock him down twice. How the hell Tyson Fury ever got up in the 12th, we'll never know. You may have seen the gif going around Twitter and stuff of the Undertaker's bong and he just sits up, and that's what it was like. So for wrestling fans, you know, and if nothing else, for the sport of boxing, it ending in a draw, and now it's going to a rematch where there'll be more money, more exposure, more publicity, more marketing, and it will tie into the Joshua fight, which will take it up here. I imagine deep down, other than maybe Tyson Fury. Deontay Wilder is probably happier than Tyson Fury, I'll say that. Also, in reference to my video on Saturday, I said at one point, I remember the days of Lennox Lewis versus Riddick Bowe, and that was misconstrued in the comments by a few people. I meant the controversy between them, where Riddick Bowe gave up the title. I'm not going to talk about it, but I saw it and I was like, come on, man. At least ask me. It doesn't matter. We'll get anyway, the thing I wanted to talk about other than that, and we'll kind of skip and Skype as we go. A few people tweeted me and said, Simon, we know you do these mental health vlogs, and that's where the vlogging started. It was called Miller's Musings. Now I just call them Simon Miller Vlogs because more people find them that way. Simple as that. And they said, I'm going to read it. I've got it up here. They said, did you see Tyson Fury's quote afterwards? If you don't know, obviously Tyson Fury went through a lot of mental health stuff. After the fight, he said he dedicated to the mental health community, and he said, so get up, get over it, seek help, and let's do it together as a team. And a few people thought the whole get up and get over it line maybe was a little bit too on the nose. And they said, Simon, what do you think about it? And I was going to do a tweet and stuff, but I thought, hey, man, I like to look into a camera and talk. Let's just do it this way instead. So it's kind of difficult because you should never speak on anybody's behalf, right? I think it's been quite well documented, you know, the awful time that Tyson Fury went through. And yeah, as I said on Saturday, as an inspirational character for people that are suffering, I think it's wonderful. Like, it absolutely is. You can see, you know, he was 28 stone. He knocked off 10 stone, 8 stone, whatever it was. And he got himself back up to the pinnacle of a very intense, and very challenging sport. And he challenged the guy and took him to the limit, the guy that's the WBC champion. You can debate who won till the cows come home, but those are the facts that we can't get away from. So, you know, I know he said stuff in the past, and yes, I do still struggle with that. Again, I said that on Saturday too. Keep playing that. I want to make sure everyone knows where I'm at. I don't know. I mean, I had a quick look. He's apologized for his behavior in general in the past. I haven't seen any specific apologies, so it's difficult to comment on that. But I will say all the things that he did say about, I think he said anti-Semitic stuff, he said homophobic stuff, I think he said racial stuff, apparently, allegedly. I'm just going by stuff I've read on the internet from, you know, reputable news sites. And there is no excuse for that. There just isn't. However, at the same time, if people take ownership of their actions and show genuine forgiveness, then I think, you know, we all should be willing, on an individual basis, to try and forgive. And if you don't, you don't have to. For example, I'm a Jewish person. He says anti-Semitic comment is going to hit me a bit harder than someone that's not Jewish. That's just the way it works. It's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. That's just a thing. But moving on, I think some people thought that him saying, oh, get up and get over it was a bit, you know, if you are struggling and sometimes people say that stuff to you, it just doesn't work because it feels like you don't get it, you don't understand, you're not being empathetic or sympathetic. And that's true. If, you know, someone that you don't particularly, if you can tell you're talking to someone, you know, they particularly don't understand where you're coming from, they say, oh, just get over it. You are going to be a bit like, well, that hasn't helped me at all. Now I feel like you're, you know, there's connotations and things that come along with that. It kind of feels like you're saying that I'm weak, that it should be just as easy as a light switch. And as we've said here 1,000 times, it is absolutely not. It's far harder than that. And that's why we need to keep the conversation going in 2018 so people realize it's a real struggle and a real thing that people deal with every day. And they feel like they can't come out and speak about it because they're worried that people are going, just get over it. But I don't think that's what Tyson Fury was saying at all. Because he's coming at it from a point of view where people understand, where he understands it because he's been through it. And not only has he been through it, he's got himself back up, he's refound that fire, and he's climbed back up you know, again, to be in an incredible position where really he can't lose. As he himself, he said that because he's come back from so much. Now everything feels like a win, and he's right. So, no, I think you have to take everything in context. I think sometimes in 2018, we're quick to jump on the bandwagon and we're quick to react without taking a step back and think. And I think in this scenario, it was a message of positivity, it was a message of power, and it was a message of hope for people that are struggling, because it's different. You know, if someone comes, if your mum comes to you and you spent hours upon hours, days upon days, explaining how you're struggling mentally, and your mum's understands, she's been there, but one day she goes, come on, get over it. That's going to mean completely different again from, you know, random dude or whoever down the road coming and being disparaging towards you. So it's all about intent, it's all about context and all those kind of things. I thought it was great that he mentioned that he's been so open and candid about his mental health struggles, because we need more people, especially in the public eye, to do that. I don't know them all, and I'm sure I missed them out, but obviously he did it. Danny Rose, the Tottenham football player. I think Raheem Sterling had an interview over the weekend with The Guardian or The Telegraph or something, and he mentioned things too. Because they are role models, whether they want to be or not, or whether they should be or not, that's a whole different video. They are to many kids, and if you do know that, you know, celebrities that have all this money and fame and seemingly are living their best lives are still not able to, you know, fight the thoughts in their head, and they too had to get past it or get over it, you know, to use the quote here. I only think that's going to bring about more positivity, more change, and make mental health more of a thing where, wouldn't it be great if Tyson Fury says that, and it's still an awesome thing, and we all appreciate it, but we're like, okay, cool, because it's just the norm, and everybody's talking about it, so it doesn't have the stigma, and it doesn't have the negative connotations around it, because it just is. Like when someone breaks a leg. Sucks, but we know it sucks, and we'll all be there and we'll all support that person, and that's exactly how it should be when it comes to the brain and mental health too. So I thought it was, you know, I thought it was, you know, good that he did that. Again, I still have problems with the comments that he made. I'm not going to get around. I just do, and feel free to, if I haven't seen something, please do post in the comments and let me know. Let me see that. I'd like to see it. I'd love to see it. Again, you can only take people at their word and at their values, but you know, taking in this little thing in a little bubble here where it exists. Absolutely, you know, him shining such a big spotlight on mental health stuff is brilliant. It just is. Same again with Danny Rose, Raheem Sterling. Loads of people have done it, and it's all awesome. As for the fight itself, yeah, I thought it was awesome. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I don't really care it was a draw. I know some people are up in arms. I think you could probably make the argument that maybe it ruins boxing a little bit, because it's easier to argue that Tyson Fury won, but everyone will forget that down the line. They'll have a rematch. Everyone's going to make loads of money. More people will tune into that than this one. So it's not like, you can argue that it's hurt the sport of boxing, but if more people tune into the next one, it hasn't hurt that much, because boxing really, aside from the sporting aspect, is a business based on huge pay-per-view draws, and heavyweights 9 times out of 10 will draw more, because people like seeing big men and big women kick the crap out of each other. So that's it. Nice and simple. I will say, from a boxing point of view, there's the first sort of Deontay Wilder fight I've ever properly watched, and he just throw bombs. It is crazy. Like he doesn't really have any. Again, a very casual and layman opinion here, but he doesn't really have much. I don't want to say skill. That's unfair. It's just crazy. He's just throwing fists all over the place. And I think usually he has I don't know the specifics, they said in the fight, I think usually he has something like a 45% hit range, percentage hit, and down here he was like down to 12% because he was just throwing them. But hey man, sometimes it is a game of numbers. And in the 9th when he took him out, and in the 12th, especially when he knocked him out, or did he knock him out? I guess he didn't, right? Because he got back up. He could have got in trouble if he hadn't have done that, and maybe that did sway the fight for him, I don't know. But look, I enjoyed it as a boxing fan. I'm intrigued to see what happens now with Joshua. I'm sure he wanted a winner, so he could now push forward to have a mega fight himself. But it's fun. It was good, and there was a good message that came out at the end of it. I don't think we can be too mad about that. And I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see what's next for all of this. Right, we'll draw a line under it there. Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment below. Again, if I've missed anything or I've misconstrued anything, it's all allegedly. It's all speculation. I'm making that clear. I don't have all the answers. Nobody has all the answers. Hopefully, as a community, we can educate each other, both with quotes and what people think and their opinions, but also prop each other up when it comes to feelings and all that jazz. Right, that's it. I'm going to sign off. I'll see you soon.